Death is ultimately just as elusive as life. It can only truly and fully be grasped upon its arrival. Of the truth in you they seek to kill, they condemn its light, but not its will. Self-acceptance is the key to the door behind which lies all the treasures which life has to offer. True altruism cannot be conceived, let alone born, from the barren womb of self-neglect. Self-knowledge fosters true self-confidence. Building yourself up by tearing others down will only get you a crumbling castle and crown. Oftentimes, a human soul is most masterfully refined within the kilns of hell. Some of us revel not in the sweet-throated harmonies of the nightingale, yet wait with eager ebon ears for the dissonant cry of the crow's undaunted projections. A good way to discern whether or not someone in your life is true: do they consistently support your existence or negate it? Get rid of excess stress. Take off some weight. Don't procrastinate. We would do well to let our hearts be our mind and reserve for that reasoning organ the intellect, the task of minding the heart only when it has forgotten its true purpose, only when it has forgotten the logistics of its own inherent existential geography. For the answers are always there within us. God created it all and saw that it was good. He still thinks so, and that includes both you, me, and everyone else. As within, so without. No more of this head over heart. No, heart over head. Nonsense. We have both, and we should strive to develop both to the best of our intentions and abilities. Keeping a disciplined and vigilant mind's eye on eternity as we wrestle with temporality is perhaps the noblest and most sweepingly epic quest of humankind. Malfeasance includes all forms of violence, both physical and psychological. Easy doesn't build the stairway to heaven, but an escalator to hell. Sometimes the darkness is there to lead us to the light. To everything there is an irrational explanation. Leave room in your life for some mystery. There is no such thing as genius in the eyes of man's creator. A recovering soul's awakening must be well-paced, though no measure of convalescence its full burden can erase. I think that we are afraid to soften because we might break, but it is the hardened vessels that are the most fragile. Savagery, in actuality, resides often within civility, or rather within the heart of a socially engineered beast. It is also a force external which enters into our minds to confound us to our truest state of inherent grace and wholeness. How much longer will we escape the dire consequences of our sins? We must let the ailing present pass before we are to ever become ready to be born again to renewed health and vigor. For this mortal incarnation is not a test of the reasoning intellect. It is a test of the earthbound spirit. Dignity must be earned through the process of allowing others their own as well. We have all been through hell and back in each our own ways. Everyone is an unsung hero, including you. The purpose of life is quite simple: to live, to learn, to evolve ever upward and on. Sometimes in relationships, we realize that we have actually been carrying most of the load. Wholesome relationships must be rooted in a foundation of reciprocity and consistency. Otherwise, we may just be enabling the other person to abuse that grace and benefit of the doubt which we would have been extending to them. Try to use words as a shield rather than a sword. Transcendence is and has been all along being right here, right now. Sometimes eternity is weighed in most measurably upon the wings of a singular moment. In order to be a good judge of character, one must also be of good character. Mortal human life is best approached as a descension unto ascension. A smile is often just a frown turned wrong side up. Chosen solitude is often an act of altruism, not anti-socialism. After all, one cannot serve from a shattered vessel. The more they treat you like you are insignificant, the more important you are. Often, that which we must do in order to survive acts in direct opposition to that of our own thrivance, or higher self-actualization. Caution is a cataract in the eye of fate. The remedy by proxy, removal of the whole damn eye. A justification of faith in God is ultimately just as elusive as being able to know the place and hour of our death here upon this earth. Ultimately, it can find its proof only in the moment of reunion with its source. Thus must we blindly pursue it in this mortal present hour, nevertheless, having faith that one day we shall be vindicated, and having faith that our blindness will guide us only and more quickeningly towards that light and source eternally absolvent. Hospitality is a masterful dominatrix. We must dance our demons to sleep so that they won't know what they're missing while we are out living in the truth and the light. The more deafeningly silent rings the void, outermost 'tis the voice of God employed. So you think you can Faraday cage the spirit with an architecture of metal and silicon? Dear technocrat, where is the illogic to your science? A bird cannot soar upon wings of mesh. So you want to stand out? Be empathetic. So you want to fit in? Be sympathetic. So you want to stand out? Be virtuous. So you want to fit in? Be venal. So you want to stand out? Be authentic. So you want to fit in? Be just another imposter. So you want to stand out? Be kind. So you want to fit in? Be petty and mean-spirited. So you want to stand out? Be willing to go that extra mile. So you want to fit in? Be mediocre. So you want to stand out? Be eager to learn. So you want to fit in? Remain ignorant and stay that way. So you want to stand out? Be brutally honest with yourself. So you want to fit in? Be self-deceptive. So you want to stand out? Be a critical thinker. So you want to fit in? Be critical. Happiness is the suspension of disbelief. To never allow life to dissect you is to risk never being put together just right. Integration thrives upon fleeting yet profound moments of disintegration. For what desires unity must first allow fragmentation to assert its form and force so that Psyche, the master sculptor, may bring to fruition the realization of the self it seeks to substantiate, the personage it envisages within the realm of divine projections. The surest way to perfection is only through complex dissection. And one must die in order that one may live. All beings divine must first descend to each their own Hadesian depths, that they might come to know heaven. Oftentimes a human soul is most masterfully refined within the kilns of hell, but not that hell born of diversionary tactics rooted in self-deceit, but a genuine descent born of one's own commitment to crucial self-examination and psychospiritual edification. Mortal human life is best approached as a descension unto ascension, a rising up from the dank, dark depths of depravity and fragility into the light of redemption and indomitability in imago Divinis. Perspective is a 99.9% determinant of how our lives will go. Live your life as if your afterlife depends upon it. Yes, sometimes the ever-imminent sense of one's own nihility in a world of negligence and broken dreams is the one thing in the end which spurs a soul ever onward towards epictasis, towards that of its truest and fullest actualization, wholeness, and perfection in imago Divinis. The darkness begins to seep into the cracks, again subtracting furthermore from what one lacks. To walk whilst one has the light soon brings one round again to fright. Such a defeatist triumph of never-ending plight. Surely ascension poises for eternity upon the tensional momentum of such drawbacks. A life without strife is a life without living. All is well with the soul when heaven and hell both console. Others' opinions of us may need to be taken into consideration, but should never come before that of our own. Euthymia is found when straying from baser passion. Asceticism, it seems, brings happiness in this fashion. Sometimes, as a person with a commitment to personal health and growth, we must sever ties with those who remain stagnant no matter how patiently we have been with them. And sometimes this is just the natural course of events when we have embraced progression and the other digression. Healthy, mature relationships are based on compatibility of values and, most importantly, upon that foundation of trust and love fostered in an environment of consistency and integrity equally demonstrated by both parties. Our own growth and health should not be hindered by another's inertia. If you love them, set them free. If you love yourself, set yourself free as well. Humility is the mother of true and everlasting pride and glory, begetting a genuine sense of self-esteem and self-worth. Often those who know and see themselves most clearly remain to some others unreflected. Do I lie mortally wounded at last, or has my soul been bleeding out all along? A slow, systematic wounding is this life, where treasures can't be kept without eventual theft. If an entity of light and truth revealed itself to you, would you move closer to it, or would you move away from it? Whatever your choice, you will be revealed. The survivor's sojourn is measured both emotionally and intellectually. Our minds need to be edified so that clarity and safety can be obtained and felt. Then the heart can continue the journey towards restoration and wholeness. This is a test of the interpersonal broadcasting system. All malfunctions should be reported immediately to your heavenly supervisor, and all programming must meet prior approval. What we say and do has a very real and profound impact upon our fellow human beings. Please think before you act and or speak. Life can oft seem a Sisyphean task. The answers we seek in the questions we ask, revealing themselves in methodical revelation, harmony found in eurythmic syncopation. Enviers who use the silent, invisible treatment are just trying to get you to go away so they don't have to feel inadequate or bad about themselves anymore. Don't fall for it. Shine your light and be your brilliant self. They will misread your genuine and healthy self-esteem as conceit or arrogance. This is a mere projection of their own inward state. Remain true to yourself, and they will be forced to either remove themselves from the situation or defer to you. 1 Peter chapter 5, verses 5 through 6. God resists the proud, but gives grace to the humble. Therefore, humble yourselves under the mighty hand of God, that he may exalt you in due time. Do not let them send you into a tailspin of crazy to make them look sane. Don't let them send you into a tailspin of bad to make them look good. Stay good to yourself no matter what they think and what they do. That is how you win. Do not take on their self-hatred and abuse. You do not deserve it. You are a being of the truth and the light. Leave the children of darkness to their own devices. Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. Do not repay evil for evil. Your uprightness is necessary for their humbling. All will be duly chastened in his time. Take heart and wait on the Lord.